Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about something interesting. We are going to talk about hobbies. So, when you want to tell somebody about your hobby, what are the things that you should be telling? So, let us start with understanding this word. The word hobby, where did it originate from, and what is the meaning of this word? So, the word hobby means a small toy horse which is actually used in carnivals and fairs. If you look at the screen and you would see a toy horse and you would recognize it as a thing for entertainment. Okay, so this was used for carnivals and fairs and was something which was used for entertainment. So the word hobby comes from here. Now, what is it? What is the hobby? A hobby is an activity that is done for the purpose of entertainment. Okay, so any activity that you do for your entertainment is a hobby. But then there is another word, there is interest also. So, what is the difference between interest and hobby? Interests keep on changing. Okay, so if there is a cricket season, do you watch cricket? And then if there is a football season, you watch football. So these interests they keep changing, but hobbies do not change. So if you have a hobby of painting, then it doesn't change with the season. You paint in every season, right? So hobbies normally do not change, but interests keep changing. And hobby is an activity that you've been doing for a long time. So this is a major difference between a hobby and an interest. Now, after having understood the difference, let us look at that when you want to tell about your hobby, how do you talk about it? So you can start with telling what is the activity. You can say that my hobby is painting, my hobby is dancing, my hobby is playing drums or playing a violin or a guitar. So you can talk about that activity. What is that activity? And then you can give one or two statements about the history of that hobby. You know, where did it originate? Where did dancing originate? What is the origin of guitar? What is the origin of painting? You can use Google to find out these things, and this will add to your own knowledge also. So say one or two statements about its history. And then what you should say is, why did you take that activity up? Why did you take that hobby? So there are different reasons why you take up a hobby. One of the things is inclination. Okay, you like a particular activity and you're good at it, so you want to pursue that. So inclination is one of the reasons why you would take up a particular hobby. The other reason is inspiration. You look at people doing a particular hobby. If you are inspired by a painter or if you are inspired by a singer, then you try and pursue that activity and you take it up as a hobby. So inspiration is another reason why you take up a particular hobby. The third reason can be guidance. If you go and ask somebody, okay, I want to pursue a hobby, what should I take up? So people will guide you by giving different suggestions. You should take up painting, you should take up dancing. So guidance could be one of the reasons why you take up a particular hobby. So while telling about your hobby, you should start with tell what is the activity, say something about it, and then answer this question: why did you take it up? And another reason is desire to express or share your ideas. So writing or blogging is a very good activity through which you can express and share your ideas, which actually is also a hobby. Okay, so these are four different reasons why somebody takes up a hobby. You identify your own and talk about it. Okay, After having answered this question, the next thing that you should say is, what have you learned from it? What has that hobby taught you? Okay. So you can talk about some qualities that you have developed from that hobby. Okay. Like for example, if you paint, if you are a painter, if you have that hobby of painting, the painting teaches you creativity. If you play chess, it teaches you, quick decision making and also patience. Okay, if cooking is your hobby, then creativity is one of the things that goes in the cooking. Okay, so talk about some qualities that you developed from that. Okay, and also tell that how those qualities have helped you, how has been your development because of that quality. There are some additional things that you should say while talking about your hobby, and these are, mention some important people who are associated with the hobby. Like for example, if you're painting, then you can mention a few famous painters like MF Hussain, Raja Ravi Verma. These are some famous painters, or some international painters like Picasso, Leonardo da Vinci. So if you're talking about playing music, you can talk about some musicians, some composers. Just mention their names. Key, these are the people who are pursuing the same profession, same activity as your hobby. And another thing that you should say is, you should end this. You should end this by saying, what more do you wish to do with your hobby? What is the next step that you want to take in your hobby? Okay, so these are two or three major questions that you should incorporate in your answer while telling about your hobby. So I wish you a good presentation, and I wish you all the luck for the competition.